Hello everybody and welcome to the Saturday Night Thunder series here on FTN. Tonight, it's the Krampus Creations 150 here at Talladega. The Krampus Creations 213 here at Talladega. Krampus Creations, from custom laser-burned woodworks to family pictures on painted canvas, we do it all. Our family-owned business focuses on making sure our products are supreme quality. Let's take a look at tonight's grid here as we sit, waiting for the race to start. On the pole, it's Brady Wheeleman next to Carter Casey. Then it's Vinny Tigner and James Thurston rounding out the second row. Cole Wilson and Connor Isabel round out third. Then it's Matthew Weeks and Matthew C. White. It's the Matthew row in row number 4. Then going on further, it's Hunsinger and Chris Tripp rounding out the first set of rows. Moving on, it's Jacob Elkins and Elijah Hogby in 12th. Kyle J. Jackson and Henry Calahoff round out row number 6. Cameron Chandler and Seth Morrison, Michael Deitch and Aaron Schugel, Mike Hill, and Chris Stanford. That is Jordan Kuntz, Trey Holmes, Rick Spencer Walt, Joseph Miller, Tyler Sievert, Charles Sippertrace, and Roger Sievert, all rounding out the grid. We've got quite the race for us here at Talladega. A new fresh coat of paint as an art rework later last week was the reason for it now looking a lot better and more like real life. The first time it's had an art update since 2020. Just 70 laps here, getting ready to go as the pace car makes its way down the back straightaway. A lot of build-up running into tonight's race. The playoffs are fully in swing with just 3 races to go till the end of the season. A strong playoff push up front with the lowest qualifying playoff driver being Tyler Sievert in 25th. He did not set a lap. Current conditions here at Talladega, a temperature of 75 degrees, track temp of 96, humidity just above 17 degrees, or 17%, with winds northeast at 1 mile per hour, mostly cloudy conditions. Tonight's event here at Talladega is sure to be one special, as deep in the heart of the playoffs we have a superspeedway where anything can happen, throwing a dice of randomness into the mix, as it'll take, I think, one of the strongest playoff contenders to manage this race to come out on top. As the pace car makes its slow dive onto pit road, we have the long awaits till we get to the Geico restart zone with the added effect of the pushed forward start-finish line here at Talladega. As the cars get ready to roll around and get ready to go, this is the Krampus Creations 213 at Talladega. We are green here in SNT. Well, the first lap done, and on the books, it's Matthew Weeks rounding out that end of the top 10. Carter Casey is our leader, just ahead of Brady Wheeleman and Vinny Tigner, along with James Thurston and Cole J. Wilson. That rounds out your top 5 as things get even more heated. James Thurston falls back a bit on the top, pushing Vinny Tigner there in the 12 as he looks to go forward in the field. Brady Wheeleman pushing strong Carter Casey there on the bottom. They stay evenly packed 2 by 2 as we come out of turn 4. Brady Williman giving strong pushes to the back of Carter Casey. He remains our leader, and they stay both in tow as the JRS.GG machine pushes that Lucas Oil machine up to the front of the field. So far calm, as no one has really tried to make a move. It's been fairly even. Not a lot of shuffling going on, similar grid to what we had in qualifying, as a few of the playoff contenders try to push towards the front and then get there and take it easy. That outside lane just cannot produce enough momentum and enough energy to try and surge past a pretty powerful push by Brady Williman and Carter Casey out front. A 3-car length gap from Jim, as he's not even connected to the back bumper of Vinny Tigner there. Arrow pushing the way to go so far, try and stay connected. Jim is going out for air, as now he tries to get to the back bumper of the 12 and make something work. Right now it's been all up in the front with Carter Casey. This has been a strong showing of the pack so far. No incidents and nothing many changes. Matthew Weeks moves up to the outside line just in front of Vinny Tigner, as him and James Thurston both fall back a significant amount. James trying to put it 3 wide. As he does, he goes to the top, the only one to go 3 wide. James doesn't look to be going slow enough to be dropping back, although I think he might be, as he went 3 wide to try and see if anyone would go with him. No one will, and he will fall back. It's Cole J. Wilson leading that outside lane with Matthew Wilson toe, giving him the push as they go 3 wide now with a lead. Matthew Weeks goes up by the wall and has no one up there to have help. Brady Williman jumps to the outside now, as he will try and contend for the lead. It's Williman and Casey leading both these lanes as the 48 tries to make a move around the outside, with Cole J. Wilson pushing him in tow. The 00 of Braden Hunsinger laying the bumper to Carter Casey there as they try and maintain their lead. Great effort here for the Braden as he's able to push Carter Casey, still 1 car length clear of Brady Williman, but they are still side by side. Cole J. Wilson putting in that work behind the 48 machine to keep him in tow, and up front, who will lead it at the line? Carter Casey, but a surge of momentum for the 48. Side by side, even as they come. Here comes Cole J. Wilson trying to get air. Things getting hot temperature-wise on these race cars. This pack so far, that outside lane has not had enough energy to try to sort out the charge on the inside line, but that now may change. Brady Williman up to the outside lane just a few laps ago was able to channel that energy that he had pushing Carter Casey on the inside and bring it with him to the outside lane. On board with Cole J. Wilson now. You can see just how much he's pushing, but he peaks for air at just the right time, and he goes before the corner. He lifts, Oh, wow. He's going to fully go out of lane. Trying to get a big push here on Brady Williman. Spent the entire corner looking for temperature. Gets him squirrely by pushing on that right rear. And he still is looking for more temperature. Carter Casey still at the front here with Braden Hunsinger giving him the push and the 35 of Jacob Elkins just behind. This inside lane has not been able to be dethroned here just yet, but it looks like they got the help of Wheelman and Cole J. Wilson behind them on that top side lane. Wheelman not able to have led a lap so far in this event, but now may have the chance to. One driver of note still trying to make things work is James Thurston, as he still remains 3 wide on the top. He tried to make a 3 wide move earlier, and it did not pan out, although him charging up alone on the outside leaves him about 6th in line. Leaving James in about 12th position. Well, 3 wide as we go looking at James Thurston trying to make that outside lane work, and while he's been able to stay in his current position, he's not been able to advance it after he was about 2nd on that outside line earlier. Oh! And a motor's blown for Cole J. Wilson! He explodes entering turn 3. Cole J. Wilson's smoke coming out of the back of his car. Let's go back and get a replay. Yeah, and he just has issues, and James lucky to skate by. Riding on board with Cole is uses RPM, and they're with the motor. Caution is not out. We still stay green. Looking at the temperature dials, they look fine. Oh, yeah. RPM's fading back, and that's the moment he lost the motor. Going back live, Cole J. Wilson back out on the racetrack after taking his fast repair in pit lane. And nothing has changed at the front. Carter Casey, still our leader on lap 12, now 13. As Brady Wheelman still mounts a charge. So Thurston now 3rd in line on that outside lane. So going along that outside sure has helped James and his charge back up to the front. You gotta wonder if drivers are starting to think about fuel savings. Could be doing so by lifting on that straightaway, but now it goes James Thurston to the outside with help from Connor Isabel. Connor Isabel and Matthew C. White, the 3 charging to the outside lane to put an end to Vinny Tickler and Brady Wheelman in their charge for the race lead. Top car of Rick Spencer Walt down the back straightaway. He'll have to go to the apron, which he does. James Thurston now looking for the race lead. It's within 1/10 of a second. Oh, trouble. We've got a car slow in the back. What happened to Mike Hill? So here's Mike Hill. Goes out of line. Oh. I don't know what... I don't have words for what just happened. I'm very much confused. Maybe a monitor failure? I am shocked, and I don't know what happened. I cannot explain this. Well, Mike Hill is another person who'll take he'll take his fast repair as he's coming out of pit road now. Was able to manage getting that thing back to pit road. That's impressive. Carter Casey still your leader, lap 16 out of 70, just barely 15 laps over what we've done since the start of this race, and not much has changed. James Thurston now on that outside lane once again trying to make something work. I believe that's Chris Tripp up there with him too. Yes, it is in the 90 machine. Just for stats' sake. Nope. There we go. So the only lap... Well, it's going to change over now, isn't it? So as of right now, I believe Carter Casey has led every single lap to the stripe. I know that's a disparity there, but it can't count a lap forward if we haven't ran it yet. So out of the 17 laps completed, Carter Casey has led them all. Remarkable effort by that 8 machine of Carter Casey as he remains out front here in Talladega. Braden Hunsinger, the man who was pushing him earlier, back reconnected with the 8 car as they now go forward. What's absolutely shocking to me is that they are able to stay up here in the front and not have any issues. And in the right corner of your screen there, you'll see, or now left corner, you'll see Mike Hill, lap car back down the back straightaway. So far, a calm and collected Talladega race here with the Xfinity car in the SNT Series. Folks at home, turn up the volume on your speakers, your monitor, your headphones, or your television. We're going to go to an FTN Crank It Up. Welcome back from our FTN Crank It Up as we continue on with the SNT series here in Talladega. Coming to lap 25 out of 70, just over a third of the way through tonight's race here in SNT at Talladega. And Carter Casey has done a remarkable job staying at the front. And if we were to pull up his stats again, I believe it would show. Oh, that's Braden Hunsinger, my fault. He has still led every lap we've run, with no caution yet to speak of. This is an incredible stat. And he's already led a third of the race alone. Carter Casey doing a remarkable job at the front of the field tonight. Calm, cool, and collected. That's when Carter Casey at the front of his field right now is not a caution been in sight. Couple of incidents early on, single car, Mike Hill, and Cole J. Wilson blowing his motor earlier. Mike Hill still unexplainable, but he manages to get back on the racetrack just 2 laps down. See if I can get any inclination of what happened to Mike Hill. While we wait for a response from the admins or drivers to figure out the incidents that happened, the 2 single car, James Thurston now pushes Brady Williman on that outside lane. And once again, if we were to check the lap lane, it's no surprise who is still on top. No one has been able to stand in the face of Carter Casey. Not even Brady Williman, who's made 4 separate charges to try and take the lead away. This time he might. Brady Williman, will he lead at the line? Yes, he will. He gets to the race lead just as I was talking about it. And Carter Casey will no longer lead every lap of this race. Brady Williman to the race lead. Just as quickly as he may have gained that lead, he might lose it. James Thurston with a strong charge on the outside lane with Matthew C. White in tow. James Thurston scored as our leader, just a nose and a bumper ahead of Brady Williman. Will it be enough to sustain it at the line? Oh, yes, it will. And James Thurston will take the lead by a car length, and he'll clear himself down on the bottom lane. It's James Thurston now to lead the pack after a wonderful push by Matthew C. White. James Thurston still to lead a lap this race now, has already led 2 at the line. James Thurston, incredible run to the lead after falling back to the mid-teens earlier this race, has found himself in the lead for the first time tonight. James now looking to block. He goes up to the outside lane to block Carter Casey as he stays in the lead. Now will go back down low to meet with Brady Williman on the bottom side lane, just so barely clear, and now still in the lead. It's been calm so far as James Thurston now goes up to block that outside lane with Carter Casey, bring up a spot for Braden Hunsinger and Brady Wheelaman to try and make a move and a run back on the bottom. Unfortunate for Wheelaman, whatever lane he's been in has not been enough to take the lead, albeit for 1 lap. And now in James, he's just 3 laps here at the front. He's led more laps in less of an attempt to get back to the front. He's had to claw his way back from the mid-teens after an incident of him going 3 wide, and now he finds himself in the lead of that outside lane. But now it seems like Brady Wheelaman will have the lead at the line. Will it? Yes, he will. Wheelaman leads another lap as James Thurston concedes the lead to the 48 at outside lane. James Thurston falling back a little bit as the momentum on that outside lane seems to dry up some bit, but Carter Casey is not letting that happen. He now pushes the back end of the 96, trying to push him out to the front. Wide attempt by Matthew C. White in the back, just that he is for 11th. He goes up to the wall. Not sure what his plan is there, but no one's up there to try and go with him, so he'll try, and he'll have to go back to the bottom lane, or any available lane he can. In other news, Mike Hill is in the pack with us. He finds himself just behind the 7 machine of Elijah Hawley. Miraculous work by Mike Hill to somehow still be in the pack. Same with Cole J. Wilson. He's been able to assimilate back into the pack with everyone else. But so far now up front, it's Brady Wheelaman with the 35 of Jacob Elkins now trying to lead with James Thurston. Shifty push, he'll slide back side to side on that outside lane. The 96 giving the bumper back to 35. 35 on the outside, 35, speaking of that, just over halfway. We've crossed the halfway point in tonight's race as Jacob Elkins in the 35 takes the race lead. Moves down to the bottom lane. James Thurston free and available on the top. Brady Williman now pushing a 35 as he was earlier. James Thurston partnered back up with Carter Casey in the 8 car, as Carter Casey, once he lost the lead, has not been able to get back up to it since. Lost the lead on lap 29, and in about 10 laps or so has not been able to get back up to the front. At the front right now, it's Jacob Elkins and Brady Williman, our top team with Hunsinger, Kalhoff, and James Thurston in tow. Things getting single file right now as we get closer to pit stops. As this field tries to make it on one stop, we're past halfway. I think they can do that just fine. Well, we stay green and are coming now closer to the edge of pit stops as the field gets single file now as Brady Williman, Carter Casey, and some of the rest in the back also come to pit lane. That would be Brady Williman, Carter Casey, Vinny Tigner, Jordan Kuntz, Kyle J. Jackson, and Chris Tripp, along with Seth Morrison down pit road. Here comes the rest of the field. James Thurston now in the lead, blocking Jacob Elkins at the bottom side lane with Matthew Weeks on the top. So if that group has already come in, then I expect James and the rest of these guys to come in now. Or no. James Thurston and the rest of this group stay out. And if anyone is interested, solo 363-foot homer to laser to left field with New York Mets at Houston. Astros up 1. Jeremy Pena, the man to hit that to left field. Baseball updates now, top of the 5th as the Red Sox trail 1 hit run to the Rangers with a runner on base. 2 runners on base now. Bottom of the 5th and still tied 0-0 with Braves and Padres. Middle of the 2nd with Cubs and Diamondbacks also tied at 0-0. As into pit lane comes the rest of the field. James, 35 of Jacob Elkins. Now Connor Azabel, Braden Hunsinger, Aaron Schugel, as they come down pit road. So where will this leave the other pack? Let's take a look. Well, here is... their pack seems to have been split in half. Yeah, that would be it. Their pack got split in half. Carter Casey just ahead of the 48 of Brady Williman. Then it's Vinny Tigner, Jordan Kuntz, and the 90 of Chris Tripp as they come out of turn 4, now passing pit entrance. So they're most likely going to pass this pack, as they've already passed some of the lower ones in the back. James Thurston amongst those who pitted now recently, as the speed differential is upward of about 80 miles an hour. This is going to be rough. Here comes Chris Tripp, Carter Casey, and the rest of them out to pit road. They'll maintain track position and get out just ahead, but with 2 laps run longer, James Thurston, Aaron Schugel, Henry Kalhoff, and the likes of them who just pit now are going to be the ones to last longer on fuel. These guys will all need to bunch up together if they want to catch that front 5. Matthew C. White technically scored as our leader, but in comes Carter Casey as they're going through the tribal right now. They will pass them with ease. Let's watch this happen. Out of pit road with O.J. Wilson, and there is Matthew C. White. Here comes the back of the pack. If you'll see it there on the right-hand side of your screen, Matthew C. White is going 175 miles an hour, and the pack is coming by at 190. Here comes Carter Casey. So he was able to get the jump on the rest of the field as far as track position, but it won't matter now. Carter Casey coming in close to a 10th per second, and then closing on Matthew C. White. But he will lead 2 laps. Comes the pack as they are 3 wide, passing Matthew C. White. It's Aaron Schugel, James Thurston, Jordan Kuntz, all up on the top side lane to go 3 wide through the tri-oval. James Thurston now is clear of Brady Wellerman and pushes Aaron Schugel, Schugel, to the lead. Carter Casey back out up front, and it feels like it's been forever since he was there. Just about 20 laps or so where he wasn't at the front of the field. Carter Casey controlling this pack right now as Matthew C. White finds himself back in second place just behind the 8 car. Cole J. Wilson slightly holding up James Thurston and Aaron Schugel's charge back up to the front. Not anymore. They go up to the top hoping to ditch the 22 in the middle, and that's exactly what they do. The 96 and 56 now together trying to strike a charge for the lead. With a push from Aaron Schugel, James Thurston finds his way up to the race lead just ahead of Carter Casey and Matthew C. White. Schugel now with pushes from Vinny Tigner and Cole J. Wilson behind. He tries to make a charge for James Thurston as they continue to lead both lanes. Not much else has changed other than a couple cars falling back. It's still Aaron Schugel ahead of Vinny Tigner as that outside lane tries to mount a charge. Bottom of the second, it's Cubs and Diamondbacks. Jay McCarthy now on deck, and Steve Perdomo in the hole with 2 runners on base. 1 ball, 0 strikes so far, the current at bat, with Moreno up to the plate. Second pitch, ball in the dirt, splitter, 83 miles an hour. Third ball, 45 fastball, too high. Fourth called strike, top left corner of the box. 3 balls, 1 strike for G. Moreno as he's up to the plate, and James Thurston still is in the lead with Carter Casey now ahead of the 56 of Aaron Schugel. And fifth is a ball called walk on G. Moreno as the bases are loaded for the Cubs. Or no, for the Diamondbacks, I apologize. Carter Casey, now with a significant push from Aaron Schugel, finds himself back up to the front and to the lead as they are both cleared. James Thurston drops back to third, and Vinny Tigner is left to dry. Jay McCarthy up to plate. The bases loaded for the Diamondbacks. James Thurston makes his way back up to the top side lane. Aaron Schugel might as well, looking to get clear. Yes, he is. And now, Carter Casey will have to make do. Here comes Vinny Tigner to push it 3 wide on James Thurston, and Schugel will have no choice but to leave his teammate out to dry. And James Thurston is surrounded by everyone and leaves it on the top. First pitch called strike, 0 balls, 1 strike for Jay McCarthy of the Diamondbacks. Forcing fastball, 92.6 miles per hour. Second pitch in play for runs. It's a sweeper, 81.3 miles per hour, just outside the box. Grounded out softly to first, and it's a run for the Diamondbacks. Second and third are still loaded. It's Perdomo up to the plate now for the Diamondbacks. No pitch is thrown yet. First pitch called strike, 4-seam fastball, 93.2 miles per hour to the top of the box. Aaron Schugel trying to make work done on Carter Casey and Matthew C. White at the bottom side lane. James Thurston falls all the way back to 10th and is still trying to make something of it on that outside lane. Second pitch in play with runs is now out. It's the end of the second, grounded out short. 1 run up against the Cubs as the Diamondbacks at the end of the second inning. Juan Soto grounds 1 out to the pitcher as it's now 1-1 at the top of the 6th. Astros and Mets tied. Pete Alonso up to the plate, 1 ball, curveball, second called strike, 4-seam fastball, 94.4 miles per hour. James Thurston, Brady Williman in the 35 of Jacob Elkins now trying to make something work 3 wide as Vinny Tigner stays behind 56 of Aaron Schugel. Carter Casey still maintains the lead. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pete Alonso still up to plate for the Mets. 4-seam fastball called ball, 93.6 miles per hour, top right of the box. 4, swinging strike with a sweeper, 81.2 just outside left of the box. So 2 balls, 2 strikes for Pete Alonso. His at-bat for the Mets. (4-2) Rangers Red Sox. Rangers still lead against the Red Sox. 2 runs up with 2 runners on base at first and third. Brady Williman makes his way charged down to the bottom. It's James Thurston on that outside lane, back up with Aaron Schugel. And now Jacob Elkins on that outside lane as well. It was a run single grounded to center for Semien of the Rangers. Langford up to bat. 0 balls, 0 strikes, no pitches called yet. First pitch, foul ball sweeper to the left of the box, 81.3 miles per hour. As James Thurston now clears for the race lead. Carter Casey falls back about 4 positions there as Aaron Schugel on that outside lane trying to get something done and cannot and will not. Second pitch, foul ball sinker, 92 miles per hour for Langford. Now 2 strikes and 0 balls. One ball and 2 strikes. Third pitch, ball in the dirt with a sweeper, 81.2 miles per hour. Going through the grass is Chris Tripp. What's he doing? He ends up in pit road. Oh, I believe he just alt F4'd. So, what exactly happened? Oh, and there he goes in the back of the frame. Let's get another look. Wow. What? Oh. Well, it appears we cannot. Well, going back live, Carter Casey still leads. Aaron Schugel up on the top side lane with Vinny Tigner. James Thurston in tow behind Casey with Williman behind him. Langford strikes out swinging. Bottom of the 5th with 1 out for the Rangers. Two runners on first and third for the Rangers now as Peterson comes up to bat. Aaron Schugel still trying to make something work on that outside lane, is unable to. Well, James Thurston now goes to the outside as he has Aaron Schugel for help now. Carter Casey, his lead is in trouble. 96 of James Thurston now up to the front as Aaron Schugel gets turned and Carter Casey will go around. It's our first caution of the night.
Everybody on the racetrack will be pissed off at somebody else on the racetrack before this race is over with.
Carter Casey gets turned. Aaron Schugel gets around. Caution is out on lap 59. The caution is out for the first time tonight, and it involves Aaron Schugel, Carter Casey, and a mix of other drivers as well. So there's when James clears himself up to go with Schugel. Now he has help. What happens to Schugel after turn 4? Believe. Oh, he gets interconnected with James Thurston, comes down and turns Carter Casey. And collects a couple other drivers as well. Caution is out for the first time tonight. Yeah, so nothing more than Aaron Schugel getting connected with James Thurston, hits Brady Wheeleman as well. He's involved, so 3-car incident. Carter Casey is the one with the most damage after that one. Aaron Schugel finding his way to his pit box, and he'll be in pit road. James Thurston, our leader, over Brady Wheeleman, who comes out second. Vinny Tigner now in third. Matthew C. White in fourth. And Jordan Kuntz rounds out your top 5. This race has been quite interesting up to this point. Been green so far in almost every metric. And now we have our first caution. Two balls, 2 strikes for Peterson up at the plate. 5th strike in play out, grounded into a double play. Ends the 5th inning, Rangers up 2 over the Red Sox. Bottom of the 6th, 2 outs. It's the Padres up to bat. It's a Rez up to the plate. First pitch called strike, curveball. 80 miles an hour just outside the box. Zero balls, 2 strikes. 2 is a foul ball at Cutter, 92.4 on the left side of the box. Third is a ball, a splitter, 85.8 miles per hour in the dirt. Fourth ball in play, and it leads to an out. That will end the 6th inning with the Padres and the Braves moving on to the top of the 7th after that TV break. Bottom of the 6th, Mets at Astros now with 1 out. It's the Astros up to bat. Paredes now on the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting for the 5th pitch. 5th pitch in play out, and now that will be the 2nd out in the bottom of the 6th. As grounded force out to third for Paredes as he leaves the plate. 1 runner on first. Yordan Alvarez now up to the plate for the Astros with 2 outs at the bottom of the 6th. First pitch called strike, 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour to the bottom of the box. pitches, 2 balls, both sliders, 85 and 90 miles an hour. 1 third pitch near Alvarez's knees. 2 balls, 1 strike for Yordan Alvarez. 2 outs for the Astros on the bottom of the 6th. Still tied 1-1 with the Mets as we await the 4th pitch. Fourth pitch, foul ball slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Yordan up to plate as the pace car makes its dive down pit road. James Thurston, Brady Williman, control of the restart. Geico restart zone, and we are green for the second time here with just less than 10 laps to go. It's a wonderful start for our 2 leaders. James Thurston maintains his lead on the bottom, and Brady Williman getting a push from Matthew C. White on that topside lane. Board with James Thurston as he continues to lead the pack at the front. Yordan Alvarez 1 run double roped to center. The Astros now lead 2-1 over the Mets. With a runner at second, it's Walker up to bat for the Astros. James Thurston still in the lead with Brady Williman trying to make something work on that outside lane. Casey is 3 wide, back in about 10th position. It's Matthew C. White getting squirrely on the top with Vinny Tigner and Carter Casey to make it 3 wide, trying to charge for Brady Williman in the second lane. Thurston still with a handle lead over the rest of the pack. It's now Vinny Tigner in the tow of the 96. Brady Williman leads that middle lane now, as they can say, for one of the first times tonight. And it's Matthew C. White trying to do something, bit of a scrape of the wall, farther back in the pack. Brady Williman getting a push from the 35. That's Jacob Elkins now trying to make something work in the middle. Gets a little squirrely, but moves himself up into lead by timing, and scoring is not yet clear of the 96, but merely by a bumper. First strike for Walker's at-bat for the Astros, and it's a foul ball, forcing fastball, 95.2 miles per hour to the top of the box as Brady Williman tries to make a move, and he is not going to be clear. But Elkins is. He steals the lead from James Thurston at the line, and he'll try and clear himself in the middle, and gets turned. He gets into Thurston, but he saves it. What a save by the 35. Incredible save. We stay green. James Thurston, major damage on that right front. It's pushed in. You can see the tire. This is going to slow down the inside lane majorly as Matthew C. White and Braden Hunsinger now trying to make a move on that outside lane. It's Jacob Elkins and Matthew C. White battling it out for the lead, but don't count out Carter Casey. He's trying to make a move with the 88 of Cameron Chandler on that third lane outside. With just 4 laps to go here in Talladega. 4 pitches, 2 ball, four-seam fastball 96 at the top of the box. Third is a swinging strike slider 86 miles per hour. And fourth is a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Walker in his at-bat for the Astros. 1 runner on second. Jacob Elkins still remains our leader as he controls that inside lane with Brady Williman in tow. It's Matthew C. White on that outside lane. Just 3 laps to go here in Talladega. The field now, 3 laps, the longest it's been so far. And this is where things could get hairy. 6th pitch is a swinging strike, a slider, 85 miles an hour. It's a strikeout swinging for Walker as that ends the 6th inning for the Astros, up 1 over the Mets. Cubs have a runner on first with Swanson up to plate. Elijah Hawley takes the lead over Matthew C. White and Carter Casey, able to get down on that inside lane with just 2 laps to go. Jacob Elkins sitting behind him. Then it's Matthew White, Brady Williman, Braden Hunsinger, Carter Casey, James Thurston, Connor Isabel, and Cole Wilson. That's your top 10. He gets up squirrely at the front, just ahead of Elkins and Matthew C. White in the middle. With just 2 laps to go, we're coming to the white flag here in Talladega. Just one more time around as we cross the start-finish line. Elkins gets turned and he saves it. They stay green. We are 4 wide for the lead. It's Elkins and Matthew C. White. We remain 4 wide. Matthew takes the lead. It's a 4 wide bunch in the middle. Hunsinger almost clears himself on the 48 of Welleman. As now the lead change hands once again. It's Welleman up to the lead. 3 wide battle between Hunsinger, James Thurston. And it almost looks like the 00 of Hunsinger got turned, but he saved it. In the run-up to the start-finish, Jacob Elkins almost gets turned. He saves it. Matthew C. White. And with no competition behind Matthew C. White, Big Rex behind, he takes the win in Dega. What a finish. Matthew C. White. Don't wreck the car. He's not even waiting for the front stretch to burn it down. He's enjoying it on the back stretch. Matthew C. White, your race winner. And that's an incredible performance. With the new branding now at Talladega, this win could not be more significant. With a win in the playoffs, though he's not in it, Matthew C. White, the victor here from Talladega. After that barn burner of a race, let's take a look at the race results. It's Matthew C. White who comes out on top with the win. It's Matthew C. White who comes out on top with the win. Then it's Connor Isabel, Vinny Tigner in third, Henry Kelhoff in fourth, followed by Jordan Kuntz, James Thurston, Michael Deitch, Cameron Chandler, Braden Hunsinger, and Curtis Stanford. Then it's Aaron Schugel, Brady Williman, Carter Casey, Elijah Hawhey, Roger Sievert, Tyler Sievert for a brother 15th and 16th back-to-back finish, Matthew Weeks, Jacob Elkins, Seth Morrison, and Cole J. Wilson rounding out 20th, as he's the last person to finish on the lead lap. Kyle J. Jackson is out, so is Charles Sievertes, Joseph Miller, Mike Hill, Chris Tripp, Rick Spencer-Walt, and Trey Holmes, as they all finish either multiple laps down or out tonight's race. An absolute barn burner here from Talladega. Don't go anywhere. Interviews and much more will be right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Boundless makes its presence felt. It will not be ignored. We're helping turn ideas into reality with a wealth of building products that take every architectural style to the next level. This is what it's like to imagine, build, and transform anything we want into exactly what we seek. This is what it means to be
We welcome you back here to Talladega after what was an exciting barn burner of a race. Now, I don't believe we have our race winner in VC. We do not, but we have next best second place finisher. That would be Connor Isabel. Connor Isabel, you actually wait, hold on. Connor Isabel, you come home.
Mic muted.
Connor Isabel, sorry about that. You come home second in a barn burner here from Talladega. What are your thoughts?
You know, I went part-time this season, so I was just like looking forward to a couple races. The seas literally just parted for me to go right through, so glad for a second place finish, but this is the second time I've finished second at this track in this league, so yeah.
Well, I mean, second is, you know, better than wrecked out and flipped upside down and whatever else happens here at Talladega. But after a surprisingly clean and green race, only had one caution there with about 10 laps to go. What were your thoughts after that?
I pitted. I saw my fuel. I was like, might as well take a little bit more gas and some fresh Goodyear tires. Try to get myself a little bit of an advantage. I went into pit road 11th, came out 11th, so I knew I was already pretty good in shape. And yeah, once when I got to the top lane, I just let everybody kind of roll through. Final lap hit, going into turn one. Four wide happened, so I just cut through there and followed whoever was in front of me, and then went on from there.
What do you think was the biggest help with you at the end of this race, and mainly going through it? What was the best piece of advice you think you had?
Patience is definitely and forever will be the main thing in racing, life in general. You just got to wait for some stuff and let it come to you first before you try to go get it as quick as quick as possible.
Well, we thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on finishing second, though it was not a win. A second is nothing to scoff at. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank, or anything else you'd like to say?
I'd like to thank my teammates, Cameron, Matthew, Braden, Cole, all of them being very supportive, especially us working together in that race to do green flag pit stops. I gotta thank it to them. Good one to Matthew. He deserved that one, and yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Connor Isabel. Thank you again, and congratulations on your second place finish.
Yep. God bless.
That was the voice of our second place finisher, Connor Isabel. Let's now move on to third place finisher, Vinny Tigner. You come home in third after a barn burner here from Talladega. What are your thoughts after that race?
That was eventful. um, no, I mean that was a stellar race, and as far as for Talladega goes, that long green run that was great to see, and there was a lot of jockeying for positions there in the middle portions of the race, and I thought it was a great race. I had fun, and I stayed patient, try to keep it clean, keep the aggression down a little bit, just to stay up front, and at the end there, I just kind of got boxed down at the bottom lane, and I knew I was kind of trapped unless something happened. And finally, the door opened up a little bit, and was able to make some moves, and ended up going across the line side backwards. So that's one way to do it.
So, this was actually quite a clean and green race for Talladega standards. What were your thoughts after that first caution?
Well, after that first caution, I was just hoping there weren't going to be many after that. So, for it to just go green to the finish was great to see. I mean, can't ask for more than that. So, and to come home P3, that was good for me for the playoffs at least. So I'm happy about that.
And speaking of that, I was going to ask you, with this round, at Talladega being so deep into the playoffs, what do you think of the implications are for those who didn't finish so well tonight?
Well, it certainly hurts, obviously. I mean, it was the second race of the first round, so we got Chicagoland next for the first round, and that's the elimination race. So five will move on to the championship race after that. But yeah, I'll have to see how the points shake out here. Once I'm done here, I'll get to that and upload them. So I'm just curious to see where everybody ended up.
A lot of playoff drivers in the top 10. I believe it's six to be exact. Michael Deitch, Connor Isabel, Curtis Stanford, and Matthew C. White, the only ones not in the playoffs to finish in the top 10. So a pretty good day for most playoff contenders, surprisingly enough. But we had a couple that didn't do so hot compared to the rest of them. But after the end of all that, seeing a green Talladega race certainly is something of a surprise.
Yeah, it sure is. I think that was probably one of our cleaner Talladega races in a little bit. I think 2 seasons ago, I think we went green all the way up until like two to go or something like that. So we almost did it there. But yeah, I mean, at first it was just nobody really could make any moves. The outside it was just tough. You kind of overheat too fast, so everybody was just kind of nursing it, and but then eventually, we just, the aggression starts to ramp up a little bit as the race goes on. So that's what ended up happening, and that's what you had to do to make moves. And yeah, obviously, I knew the final lap was going to get chaotic, but I mean, that's Talladega, and but yeah, can't complain otherwise.
Well, once again, thank you so much for your time, Vinny Tigner, and congratulations on your your third place finish here in Talladega. Is there anyone else you'd like to thank, or anything else you'd like to say?
Yeah, well, thanks to you for stepping in for David for this week, this race. Really appreciate that, and thanks to the guys who showed up tonight to race, and hopefully anybody that tuned in and enjoyed the show.
Well, thank you so much again, and thank you for the kind regards, Vinny. Hopefully, all goes well in the rest of the playoffs, and have a good rest of your season.
All right, thank you.
The voice of the man who finishes third, that's Vinny Tigner in the 12. Well, once again, we come to the end of another race here in the SNT series. From Talladega, it was an absolute barn burner, and what a show it was. Thank you all so much who tuned in and decided to watch tonight's event here with us on FTN. If you'd like to learn more or just know anything in general, scan the QR code on your screen right now to join the FTN Discord. You'll be able to join and see not only the behind-the-scenes productions of some broadcasts, future upcoming Road to Pro, or later or past previous Road to Pro anything, be involved with the drivers in the leagues that we broadcast, and maybe yours, if you do have a league, will be broadcasted soon or maybe in the near future. So scan the QR code on your screen right now. For all Fireball Talks NASCAR related content, make sure to scan the QR code and join our official Discord. Or if you'd like to figure out how to join the iRacing scene, scan the QR code on your screen right now and find out how to get to the iRacing monthly subscriber page and find a way to get on the track with us. If you like the action that you saw on your screen, find a chance to be a part of that action by scanning the QR code on your screen right now. We thank you so much once again for joining us here on FTN for the SNT series. I'm your producer-commentator, Alexander Balderas. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for what was an absolutely stellar race here from Talladega. I couldn't think anything more and have anything better to do than to be here in the booth with you people at home. And just for those interested, if anyone wants to know, the top of the 8th inning sees a run for the Padres with 1 out as the Braves are up to bat. And the Cubs take up 1 run top of the 5th as they are back up to bat. It's Birdie up at the plate. We thank you all so much again for tuning in to SNT. Thank you all so much. IORA is back this week as well. We are back this Thursday here at Charlotte for the TS Race PMO Me Off 150. After a long off week, the IORA season heads back for round number 6. We thank you all so much for watching once again, and we hope to see you all very, very soon. Have a good night, everybody.